Hello. The Biggest Loser, Celebrity Fit Club, Ruby, Diet Tribe, Too Fat for 15, Fast Food Nation, Supersize Me, and Food Incorporated. These are all TV shows and movies that have come out within the last few years focusing on weight loss and overeating. This is probably because America has established itself as the most obese nation in the world. As a teenage girl in America, I of course faced struggles with overeating, as many of my peers did. Unfortunately, it faces us all differently. We live in a world of convenience and overindulgence. We rely on the quick fix and we misunderstand what our bodies need from us. Today I'd like to give you some information on how America is an obese nation. Fast food chains and buffets have contributed to this problem and encouraged it, and there are ways to get control over this issue. I'd also like to persuade you to think before you eat and think of the bigger picture and consider what you're doing to your health before you make a food choice. Let's begin. America is an obese nation. The New York Times and USA Today did studies determined that 34% of adults in America and 17% of children are obese, meaning they're over 30 pounds overweight from their body height. 68% of adults and nearly 1/3 of children are overweight and not obese. Between the 1960s and the 1980s in America, we maintained an obesity rate of 15%, which was not great, but all right. Something happened in the 1980s and the 1990s that went haywire, and the rates skyrocketed to what we have now. In the year 2000, the federal government took notice and they set a goal for us that America in 2010 would reach a 15% obesity rate. Clearly this failed because at this point the numbers have more than doubled from 30 years ago. From nationmaster.com, I got some statistics and learned that America is not only the most obese nation, but we lead with a 6% margin over Mexico, who falls into second place. Some would say that our neighborly influence hasn't done them a great deal of good. Moving on, fast foods and buffet are what encourage bad food habits in America. They aren't the only factor, but they definitely contribute. In a study from CBS News, they learned that the largest contributing factor to overeating in America tends to be portions. Fast food chains give you the option of supersizing with everything. They make you think as a consumer that you're getting a better deal if you supersize your meal because you're getting more for your money. 54% of Americans say that they feel compelled to finish their plate for whatever reason. Some of them had it drilled into their head as a child, some of them don't want to waste their money. But irregardless, things like buffets giving you an all-you-can-eat promise make you want to eat more because you're eating not only to be full, but for the experience and to get your money's worth. When really, all you're doing is wasting food and not giving your body what it actually needs. Lastly, there are ways to get control over this problem. First, obvious reason is to resist things like fast food chains and buffet restaurants that are quick fixes. They give you too much too fast, and it's unhealthy. Second, as we all know, is to exercise, not only for weight control, but for the health of your heart and to balance out your intake. If you have to eat at a fast food or a buffet restaurant for some reason, there are ways that you can soften the blow, so to speak. Drink water and lots of it. Reduce your salt intake, which is in turn your sodium intake. And avoid condiments and sauces because those pack a lot of hidden punch, so to say, of calories, cholesterol, etc. In closing, I'd like you to avoid overeating by thinking about what you eat before you eat it and realizing that there's a bigger picture. Today we learned that America is an obese nation. Fast food and buffets only contribute to this problem and encourage it, but there are ways to get control over the problem. I challenge you to avoid being a statistic. Consider your health before your cravings. Don't give in to the sales pitch that you receive at the drive-thru window to supersize your food or to eat all you can eat at a buffet, because you're better than that and you don't have to be a consumer first. Let's make the best effort we can to lowering the obesity rate in America, starting with us. Thank you.